Hey everyone, we are back in this next lesson in Chapter 1, Lesson 4. What we're going to be doing is translating words into math. Now, what we have is we have an algebraic expression n plus 3. Now, n plus 3, you can actually say that a bunch of different ways because right here we're using the operation of addition, so n plus 3. So let's go over all the different word phrases that really mean the same thing. So the first one is add 3 to a number. So whenever they use this little thing called a number, they are referring to the variable, and in this case, they're calling the variable n. So what that means is add 3 to a number. So you have a number, and you're adding 3 to it. So that's that one. The other one's kind of straightforward. A number. Now remember, this is our variable again. That's how they describe the letter n, or it could be any letter really. A number plus 3. So a number plus 3. The third way is they use the word sum. The sum. That's referring to addition as well. Now, after the word sum, it lists the two things that are being added together, and they separate them by the word and. So the sum of a number, that's our number, and is where the addition sign goes, 3. So you could also say the same thing as the sum of a number and 3. This one's always fun. This is 3. The key word here is more than a number. More than. So we know that a number, that is our n. Right. Now, more means plus. And what I like to say is than is kind of like a flip. So if we have 3 plus a number, than means you flip the order, so then it turns into, you flip them, n plus 3, which is what we have right there. So 3 more than a number. 3 plus, than means the 3 flips to the back, the number flips to the front. And then lastly for addition, we have a number, which is our n, increased. Increased in this one is the key word for addition. Increased by 3. So a number, that's n, increased means plus by 3. So that is really 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different ways to write the same thing. Okay, that is addition. Let's move on to the next one. The next one is, oh my, sorry about that little bump. The next one is subtraction. So now we're going to talk about the different ways to write x minus 12. There's a lot. So the operation with this minus sign is right here. So we're doing subtraction. The first one is just subtract 12 from a number. So subtract 12 from a number, that is our n, right? And you're subtracting 12 from that number. Okay, so that's how you write that one. The next one is pretty straightforward. A number, that is our n, minus 12. So, or I guess they're not using n now, they change it to x. So we have x minus 12. This one right here, the difference, that is another key word. Okay, the difference means, it's kind of like the sum. The difference means the answer of an a subtraction problem. I'm sorry. The difference of a number, that is our x, and 12. So the difference lets you know that you're dealing with subtraction. A number, that is the one you list first, and states where it's going to have the subtraction symbol, and then 12 is on the other side of the subtraction symbol. Okay, perfect. This one. Now, the next one, 12 less than a number. 12 less than a number is kind of similar but different than 3, the one we did up here, which was 3 more than a number. So 12 less than lets you know that you are going to be doing subtraction, but the than means you're going to be flipping it. So 12 less than, when you see that 12 less than, you know that you're doing this. The 12 is in front. It's going to flip to the back. A number is in back of the words less than, and it is going to flip to the front. So that's how you end up with x minus 12, or 12 less than a number. The next one, a number decreased by 12. A number decreased by 12 is just kind of, it's pretty straightforward. A number, that is our x. Decreased is subtraction, and 12. So that's how you get your x minus 12. Same thing. Here's a word that I haven't seen for a while. Take away 12 from a number. Take away, that is representing, take away is representing subtraction. And what are you taking away? You're taking away 12 from what? From a number, which is our x. So here's our x, and we're taking away 12 from that number. And lastly, we have a number, which is our x, less, which is subtraction, 12. So this one's just pretty straightforward. A number less 12. And the difference between this one and this one right here is just the word than. This doesn't have the word than, so you do not flip it. You just do it straightforward. A number minus 12, x minus 12. Okay, perfect. Let's go on to the next operation, which is dealing with multiplication. So we have 2m or 2 times m, or 2 with the dot m. These mean the same thing, and the quicker you realize that, the easier life is going to be. So if you just have 2m, that means 2 times n. So here we go. The first one, 2 times a number. There we go. 2 times a number, and that now we're calling our number m. So it's just 2m or 2 times m. 2 multiplied by a number, it's the same thing. That's another way to say it. Or, this is a good one, the product. So whenever you see this word product, you know that you're dealing with multiplication. So the product of 2 and then and, that word lets you know where the multiplication sign goes. So the product, you're dealing with multiplication, 2 and multiplication sign, a number, which is m, or just the same thing as 2m. And that's pretty much it for multiplication. Let's go ahead and move on to division. So we have 8 divided by 6, or 8 over 6. I say 8 over 6, but it's really 8 divided by 6. It means the same thing. There's just 2 different ways of writing the same thing. Now, this is the way I use it a lot when we're dealing with algebra and things like that. Now, you're still going to kind of see this 8 divided by 6. We're, kind of slowly moving you into that to that process. So you're going to see this a few times, but you really want to become comfortable with this notation and understand that they really mean the same exact thing. So here we go. Division. 6 divided into a number. So 6 is being divided into a number. So we have divided into, that's the key. So it's being divided into a number. We're trying to figure out how many times 6 is going into a number. So that means the number is here and it's being divided by 6. Or a number is here and it's being 6 is being divided into the number. So the 6 goes on the bottom. Okay, now another way to write this is just a number, which in this case now we're using a. So a number, pretty straightforward. A number divided by 6, or a number divided by 6. Boom, same thing. The next one is this keyword you need to memorize is the quotient. The quotient, that means division. So you know that you're dealing with division, and it's going to tell you what number you have. So of a number, that is our A, and is where you put the division sign, 6. So it's that, or you go A, and is where you make this division sign, and 6 is on the bottom like that. So the key word there is quotient. Okay, so let's move into some different key words. So we said a lot of these keywords. What you want to do with lesson 4 is you want to use operation clues in a word phrase to translate word phrases into algebraic expressions. Remember algebraic expressions, that means they don't have an equal sign and you're using letters, a combination of letters and numbers. So the keywords for addition, we talked about some of these. Add, sum, increase by, plus, more than. Remember, this is plus and flip. So all of these words, whenever you see them in a sentence, you know that you're dealing with the operation of addition. Let's look at subtraction. There's some keywords here. Subtract, difference means subtraction, decreased by, minus, less than, less is the minus, than is the flip, and then take away. Let's move on to multiplication. Times, multiplied by, product. Whenever you see those words, you know that you're dealing with multiplication. Those are the keywords for multiplication. Lastly, let's look at the keywords for division. Divided by, divided into, and quotient. Those are all the keywords for division. Now let's look at a couple different problems. So it says, write an algebraic expression for the difference of a number and 8. So, difference of a number and 8. What is the key word with that? Difference of a number and 8. Well, I think the key word is difference. That is the key word. So, when we look up here, difference is a key word for what? And we see it right there. There is difference. So, that is the answer of a subtraction problem. So we know that we're dealing with subtraction. So number 1 says, what operation would you choose? We would choose subtraction. All right. Number 2 says, write an algebraic expression. All right, cool. So we know that we're dealing with subtraction. So I'm just going to make a subtraction mark there. It says the difference of a number and, so what do we say for a number? Let's just call it x. That's our variable. So it's going to be x. And is where we put the subtraction sign, and then just 8. So there we go. That's how we write it, x minus 8, or the difference of x and 8. Okay, on to the next one. It says, write an algebraic expression for 3 more than a number. So what are the key words there? We have 3 more than a number. I think the key words would be more than. Now, what is more than? If you look, more than is right here. And more means plus, and than means flip. So we know that we're dealing with addition because more is talking about the plus. So what operation would you choose? We would choose addition. All right, cool. Now write the algebraic expression. So we have 3 more than a number. So we're using addition. 3 is going to flip. Since it's in the front of the words more than, it's going to flip to the back. So the 3 is going to go here. And then a number, which is our variable, and let's just call it y, is going to flip to the front. It doesn't matter which letter you use. It could be any one, but that's the one that I'm going to choose. So there you go. Perfect. Okay, let's go on to the next one. The next one says, write an algebraic expression for the quotient of a number and 15. So here we have quotient of a number and 15. What is the key word? The key word would be quotient. Quotient is the key word. So what is quotient? What is that the same as? Well, if we look up here, quotient is the same thing as division. So when it asks us what operation would you choose, we would choose division. And now we need to write an algebraic expression. So we know that we're doing quotient, so we're going to be using division. It says of a number and, that and is where the division sign goes. Or we can do it in a fraction as well. So a quotient of a number, that's the thing we don't know. Let's call it A, and division 15. Or the quotient, if we use the fraction of a number, that's what goes on top of the fraction, which is A, and then and is this division mark, and then 15 goes on the bottom. That goes on the bottom of the fraction. Okay, cool. Let's go on to, okay, this is what I want you to do. I want you to do 7, 8, and 9 on your own. So now you're going to pause. You're going to work them out. And then press play, and then we'll talk about them in just a second. Okay, there's our friend the pause dragon. He's going all around. Okay, pause. See you in a bit. All right, we are back. Let's go ahead and talk about these problems. The first one says, write an algebraic expression, the product of 12 and a number k. So I know that the product, that is the key word, and that means multiplication. And then and is where we're going to put the multiplication sign right there. So it's really 12 times the number k, or we can just write it as 12k. All right, let's look at the next one. It says a number d increased by 9. Well, what does increased mean? Increased is that key word, and increased, if you look up here, increased by, that means addition. So, yeah, okay, so it's a number being increased, a number d increased by 9. So it's going to be d plus 9. So if you got that right, great job. Okay, on to the last one. It says a number h divided by 4. So what are the key words? I think it's pretty obvious that divided by are the key words. So we are just going to do what it says. It says a number h is being divided by 4. So we can write it like that, or we could write h is being divided by 4 because those two mean the same thing. So yeah, if you got that right, great job, and we will see you again in just a few minutes. Okay, bye.